The morning was ordinary in the way danger often hides best. Sunlight spilled across the sidewalk, outside the small corner cafe, bouncing off parked cars and warming the early commuters rushing past. A few pigeons fought over crumbs near the curb inside. The smell of burnt coffee and fresh pastry is mixed with a low hum of conversation dot a metal table by the window. A man sat alone reading a newspaper, mid-40s, calm posture, dark jacket, no phone, no rush. His name was Daniel Carter, and he had learned long ago that blending in kept you alive. Across the street, Officer Kyle Brennan adjusted his vest and scanned the block. 2 years on the force. Ambitious. Tired. Nervous. In a way he didn't yet recognize as fear. The call had come in minutes earlier. A suspicious individual. Possible casing business's male. Unidentified. Kyle's eyes locked onto the man with the newspaper. Something about him felt wrong. Calm. 2. Still. Kai crossed the street, hand resting on his weapon. Sir, he said sharply. Put the newspaper down. Daniel didn't look up right away. He finished the paragraph, folded the paper neatly, then raised his eyes. Yes, officer. Kyle's pulse spiked. The man's voice was steady, polite, controlled. Hands. Where? I can see them, Kyle ordered. Daniel complied immediately, palms resting on the table. What seems to be the problem? He asked. Kyle scanned him, clothes clean but unremarkable, shoes worn, eyes alert. Too alert. We got a call, Kyle said. You've been sitting here a while. I like to read, Daniel replied calmly. It's a dying habit. Kyle's jaw tightened. A couple of people inside the cafe went quiet, watching. Stand up, Kyle said. Daniel stood. Turn around. Daniel turned. Kyle drew his gun. The sound of metal leaving its holster snapped the air in half. Hands on your head now, people gasped. Someone whispered, oh my God. Daniel froze, not in fear but in calculation. Officer, he said, evenly. There's no need for that. Kyle's voice shook. Don't tell me how to do my job. Kyle's thoughts raced. What if he's armed? What if he runs? What if I mess this up? Fear made his grip tighter, and that's when Daniel spoke. Words that dropped like ice into Kyle's bloodstream. Badge number 31,792, Daniel said quietly. Your safety catch is off, and your finger is too close to the trigger. Kyle blinked. How do you relax? Daniel interrupted softly. You're doing fine, but you should holster your weapon. Kyle's hands trembled. Who are you? He demanded. Daniel reached slowly toward his inside pocket. Kyle's voice cracked. Don't move. Daniel stopped instantly. Officer, he said calmly, I'm going to show you my credentials. There on the left side of my jacket, blue leather, gold seal. Kyle swallowed hard. Every instinct screamed danger. Slow, Kyle said. Daniel moved with painful precision, pulling out a small wallet and holding it between two fingers. Kyle stepped closer, gun still aimed, and snatched it. He flipped it open. The world-tilted Federal Bureau of Investigation tearing. Kyle's stomach dropped straight through his body. His vision blurred. I didn't, he stammered. Daniel Carter Special. Agent Kyle's bladder betrayed him before his pride did. A dark stain spread down the front of his uniform pants. Someone gasped. Someone laughed nervously. Kyle didn't even notice. His gun lowered on its own. I'm so sorry, Kyle whispered, voice breaking. I didn't know. Daniel gently took the badge back. I know, he said. Kyle's hand shook violently now. I could have. I almost. Yes, Daniel said quietly. You almost did. Silence pressed in. People stared. Phones hovered, but didn't quite record. Something about the moment felt too heavy to turn into entertainment. Daniel met Kyle's eyes. Do you know why I stayed calm? Daniel asked. Kyle shook his head, humiliated. Because I've been on the other side of that barrel, Daniel said. More times than I should have been. Kyle's breath hitched. I wasn't casing anything, Daniel continued. I was waiting, watching. For what? Kyle whispered. For patterns, Daniel said, including how quickly fear escalates when assumptions leak. Kyle's face burned. I'm not racist, he blurted out. Daniel didn't argue. I didn't say you were, he replied. I said you were afraid. Backup arrived moments later. A sergeant stepped out, took one look at Daniel's badge, then at Kyle's condition. Officer Brennan, the sergeant said carefully. Why don't you take a moment? Kyle nodded numbly, unable to speak. Before leaving, Daniel turned back to him. This doesn't end your career, Daniel said. What you do after this decides what kind of cop you become. Kyle looked up, tears cutting through shame. I'm sorry, he said again. Daniel nodded once. Learn something. That afternoon, the incident report read clean and quiet. No arrests, no charges, no headlines. But Kyle Brennan didn't forget. Months later, he requested additional training, de-escalation bias, recognition, stress response. He stopped seeing threats everywhere. And one morning on the same block, he saw a man reading a newspaper. Kyle paused, then kept walking. Because the moral isn't about power or embarrassment. It's about this. Fear with authority is dangerous. Knowledge without humility is deadly. But the moment we slow down, listen, and choose restraint, lives are saved, not just reputations. And sometimes, the scariest thing isn't the gun in your hand, it's realizing how close you were to pulling the trigger for the wrong reason.